Welcome back to Cask 529, everyone. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shona.
And we're back with finally our first episode since the Advent box.
Yes.
That's pretty exciting. All right, Shona, welcome back to normal.
Hey, thanks.
And,
Normal's good. Normal's good.
I see some bottles.
Yeah, so I thought we could finish out the year with our rye blind challenge number 3. The last time that you and I did this, you put the Wilderness Trail in first, and it was almost first for me. However, the new Riff Rye beat it. We have finished that bottle of new Riff Rye since that time.
And by we, she probably means she.
However, we did get the new Riff Rye 8 year. So I am putting that in as
You're going to just
the
assume
substitute.
that would have got to here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so then it is taking on a new bottle that we have yet to have of the E.H. Taylor Straight Rye.
Fresh crack tonight, I believe, on that, wasn't it?
Yep, and so it's good to note that all 3 of these, I just wanted to make sure on that one, are 100 proof.
Okay.
So proof points are all equivalent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I did pour these. It's been a little while because these were brand new fresh cracks, so I wanted to make sure, they opened up a little bit. If I tried really hard, I probably could remember the order of them, but I'm not positive on a couple of them. So it is completely blind for Brian, though. I just want to be honest.
And it's going to take me a sip or two here to get going. We had a live stream the other night, just kind of a hangout. And the after hours, I may have overindulged.
Maybe.
1 or 2 pours, maybe.
Maybe. Who knows?
So I'm not looking forward to this first sip, but once I get the first one down, I'll be okay.
You'll be fine. That one had a lot of chocolate on the nose. I loved it.
I get that kind of, it's kind of like a cocoa feel to me, like almost powdery, dusty chocolate.
About that, but it is definitely the cocoa chocolate note with some caramel and a little bit of spice.
Smells really good.
It is. Okay, here we go.
That's really nice. That is easy. Like
Nice, smooth, picking up that chocolate note within it. Chocolate cocoa note. The caramel's coming through. It's almost a really creamy taste throughout. It's really good. It kind of just coats your mouth. Picking up some fruit notes. I'm trying to distinguish what those are.
that's really, that is really good. Not much of a hug on it at all. Really. Not getting a lot of spice note to it. It's sweet.
Molded cereal grain notes. That is what I'm tasting, and I haven't had these forever. But the Cocoa Puffs. Not as sweet as Cocoa Puffs, the cereal, but that cereal grain with the cocoa on it. Then a little bit of a fruit note for the finish. Some caramel, a little bit of spice, a tad bit of spice. It has, to me, like a little bit of a hug.
Yeah,
like
I got a little
hug.
bit, but boy, not very much. For 100 proof, you'd have thought it'd been a little bit stiffer than that. You keep mentioning the fruit note. That is so mellow and so. When I say it's so sweet, it's not like sucking on a sugar cube, right? But it's almost like a cantaloupe to me.
Oh.
You know, it's just really good.
Yep. It is very good. I'm going to be shocked if we're disappointed with any of these, though.
Sadly, somebody has to be 1, somebody has to be 2,
That's
somebody
true.
has to be 3.
This one, I'm getting a little bit of spice on it, on the nose. Kind of fruitiness, a lot of fruit notes.
Again, I'm getting a lot of sweet, but not a lot of spice.
And a little bit of caramel vanilla. Like, gotta really reach for it, but it's in there.
Hey guys, if you would, before I forget, if you hit that like button, we sure appreciate that. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and drop us a comment. Let us know if you've had these and what you've thought of them.
This one's a little bit thinner than number 1. Getting a little bit of spice throughout it. The caramels, the vanillas, definitely finishing with a hint of a cherry note. It's not a like in your face cherry note, but it's there.
That was really creamy to me. It was
it?
really creamy, but it didn't have a lot else. It's kind of buttery.
I would agree with that. Yes.
That texture, almost textured like that. You know what I mean?
I think it's a little bit thinner though than the
I
first
think
one.
it is thinner than 1. Is this our 3rd rye round or 4th?
This is round 3. Overall, it's good. Like I said, a little bit of spice notes throughout it. Some caramels, some vanillas, a little bit of an oak note shining through. And it finishes with that light cherry note. Overall, it's a really good pour, but after tasting number 1, it's not as good as number 1.
It's not. And it is, that buttery really takes over for me, the creaminess. I've learned to like that creaminess if it has more with it. And that one really does not have that oomph, the spice with it.
Yep. First with it, this one, when I first just brought it up to my nose quickly, it was a really sweet spice note. Yep, still sweet, spicy note. More vanilla is shining through for me on this one.
I do get sweet and spice on that one.
Yeah, it's a nice, pleasant nose.
The spice has been really light though on all 3 of them.
Yeah. This one has more oakiness to it. The oak is shining through big time on this one for me. It's a little bit thinner, just like number 2 was. It's not as, it doesn't coat my palate as much as what number 1 did.
Right.
A lot of vanilla and caramels coming through, but that oak note is really, really in there for me.
So I do get the vanilla and caramel. I don't really get the oak. I'm not really getting the oak. This is going to be really rough. I feel like 1's not going to be hard to score or to place. 2 and 3 are going to be difficult. To me.
I mean, it might change when we go back through.
Yeah, that might.
Number 3 is really drying as well. However, it's pleasant to me. I like that. I enjoy that. I am picking up that oak note, and I really enjoy it as well. Overall, it's really good. It reminds me more of a bourbon than a rye, to be honest. There's not a whole lot of, baking spice notes and, that heat from a rye that I normally get. Or maybe I'm just getting used to it, and so it doesn't do that as much.
Possibly.
But it's really good. I'd like to go back through because I think it's going to be a toss-up between 1 and 3 for me at the moment. Unless number 2.
See, and you're thinking 3 could be in your first place because you like that dry. Is that what you're liking about that?
I am. I'm liking that dryness.
And see, that is putting it to the back for me.
For you. I get that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to number 2. I really like number 2. I have no complaints with number 2. And if you gave me number 2 all by itself, I'm going to love it and enjoy it. Because it has that hint of a cherry note on the end that everybody knows that I love. But I'm liking number 3 better, even though it doesn't have that note on it. I just think it stands up a little bit better than number 2. I'm anxious to get back to number 1 to see if I still feel the same about number 1. I'm sorry guys, Rex is in the background. He got all kinds of new toys for Christmas. He actually got another fish. Y'all know that he loves his fish. And he immediately brought it downstairs and put it right beside the other fish, like introduced it. It was hilarious. Yep. All right. Number 1, to me, hands down, is the winner in this line. I love that cocoa puff note.
There's really like no comparison. I don't know what number 1 is.
No.
But it stands out from the other 2.
I'm really honestly forgetting which one it is, but I know for sure it's one of these 2.
Yeah,
but I don't know which one.
I'm gonna, and I could be wrong, but if you guys watch the Advent series, New Riff did really well for us, and it was really blind. I mean, it had been so long since we poured those.
Yeah.
We had no idea what we were.
The only day that we truly could remember which was the 24th.
Yep, and we knew that was Stag.
Yep.
But my hunch is going to be that this is going to be that New Riff.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's definitely going to be one of these 2. It's not going to be this one, but I wouldn't be surprised that these are in order 1, 2, 3.
I know that's not the case. However, I am putting number 1 as my number 1, number 3 as my number 2, and number 2 as my number 3.
And I've left mine in
1, 2, 3.
numeric order.
Okay, perfect.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yep.
Number 1 is New Riff.
I just had a hunch because that line has been doing so well for us.
It has. Now, I'm just going to, you did 1, 2, 3. You left them in the same order.
Yep.
So I will tell you that you put Wilderness Trail in second, which makes sense because Wilderness Trail was your number 1 the last time. New Riff was my number 1 the last time. So, and then the Colonel, it got last for you.
The Colonel hasn't been doing well for me.
No. So for me,
I didn't hate it.
right.
It
You just didn't like that drying oak.
Yeah, I just didn't like that
dryness.
And I think if I'd have got the oak, the drying would have been understandably. I didn't get that oak note, and so the dryness made me think I was drinking some of your wine.
I get that. I will tell you, Wilderness Trail, the last time, it was really close to the New Riff. Like I said, it was the regular New Riff rye. This one is the 8-year rye. This one didn't stand a chance to this one this time. I know in the challenge number 2, it was so close for me. So that does tell me that the 8-year is much better. Obviously, it beat this for you
Yeah.
this time.
Yep.
And E.H. Taylor, it was a good solid pour for me. I loved that dry oak note that came through on it. Very pleasant, great, enjoyable. All of them are enjoyable. You're not going to go wrong with any of them.
Yeah, I'm not disheartened that I was able to pick that up to have it. Mm-hmm. It just
When
to
you're
me,
doing it, comparing it, yeah.
That dryness just got me, and it's the characteristics of the dryness that got me.
And those are both neck pours tonight, so it could
True,
open
yeah,
up.
it could change a lot. In a few days even, it could be different.
Absolutely.
But I'm excited that the new Riff won. Actually, it won for both of us.
It did.
That is just an incredible. We haven't really had anything that we didn't like from there.
We have not. No. Nope. All right, good blind.
It was a good blind. And I would like to say, number one, thanks for joining us, everybody. Number two, this is Sunday night, the 29th of December. Tuesday night, 8 p.m.
Yep. New Year's Eve.
Mark, Mike, and myself will be going live behind the bar. We will have all 6 bottles of the Weller Rainbow. I think Mark texted us the other night that he was bringing bonuses. So who knows what else we'll have other than the 6. And I know we are not going to run live until the ball drops. There's no way.
I don't think the batteries will last that long.
No, that's a good call. But anyway, should be a good time. Couple bottles of the Weller Rainbow Sean and I have not had. We have not had CYPB. We have not had single barrel.
Yep.
The other 4 we've had are fond of most of them. Mm-hmm. Don't hate any of them. Mm-mm. Just some are better than others.
Yep. The foolproof right now is my number
one. The foolproof is definitely our favorite, and then from the foolproof we probably go to the 107.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep, but who knows what the other 2 will bring?
It'd be a toss up for me between the special reserve, the
12-year.
Special reserve and 12-year.
Yep.
Because as I recall, and we haven't had it for a good while, I don't remember being a big fan of the 12-year.
Yeah, I can't remember, honestly. But I am going to laugh if you pick the special reserve as your number 1.
Yeah, that's going to be bad. That's going to be bad.
I'll be like, I'll buy all that for you, babe.
Yeah, I'll be screwed if I do that. Okay, guys. So again, thanks for joining us. Again, drop us a comment. Let us know if you had these. What did you think of them? And until next time, be safe, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.